Good morning. Oh, wait a minute. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Quilt and Code. This is our rejuvenating time to just sew. And let me tell you, I need this time. It has been a rough 4 weeks. I don't know if it's been rough for you guys, but boy, we have had it. We have been to two different shows. We've gotten sick with COVID. Okay, so I didn't, my husband didn't, but three of the family members did, and it's been roughest on the older ones. And so they are still recuperating. Will is back now in the shop, thank God, because it really does take four of us to run this shop. And we were down to two for about a week and a half and didn't get a break. So we didn't get a break from our shows. So we're exhausted. That's why Monday didn't happen. I am so sorry. Anyway, so I'm sitting here. I have my wonderful orange spice tea today. I've already had my allotment of coffee, so I decided I needed to slow down on that. And while I have been working all week on trying to bring this live to you, because we have been working on the Wander Lane series, this has not been inspiring. I mean, how many of us go through times when we just like even looking at the sewing machine isn't bringing us any rejuvenating spirit, and that's what I needed this week. I just need to be able to sit at my sewing machine and let the world go away. And unfortunately, as beautiful as Shamrock Ridge is, it wasn't doing it. And so this morning, literally 2 hours ago, I said, this isn't going to work this morning. It's not going to bring me joy. It's not going to rejuvenate my spirit, even though this guy right down here, let me see if I can find a better picture of him. This guy right down here with I mean, it's adorable. It's absolutely adorable, but I need something brighter. I need something more cheery. And so as my husband said, let's just go down the rabbit hole and we're going to switch and do Bunny Knoll. And so we're going to take a trip down Bunny Knoll. Look how much color and brightness this is. And I also realized this morning that I think part of the problem with this season is that March has hit, but it's been rainy and cold, and then warm and sunny, and the daffodils come out, and then it's rainy and cold, and then it's sunny again. And I think my brain is just like, which one are we on? Not only that, but when spring hits, the whole family starts coming down with allergies. And so I think that's part of it too, is that it might be time for me to go back on my allergy meds because things are getting ready to really kick up. I mean, our forsythia is out, and I'm sure, I mean, I was down in Raleigh and that was already happening. And so, and then we were up in Hampton, Virginia, and that was already happening. And so it was really cold when we got to Hampton. And by the time we left, it was like in the 80s. And it was like, what is going on? And so that, I think, plays havoc on your system. And so we are going to rejuvenate today with some bright colors, and we are going to do Bunny Knoll. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I do with it? You know, I'm trying to stay away from the pot holders and the pillows, okay? Because that's what they've been doing everything. And, you know, and so what we're going to do again is another door hanging, because this was so cute on my door and brought me so much joy in February that guess what, guys? We're doing another one. So we are going to work on not only that, but
had you shown the people what was added to that door knocker?
Oh, yeah, I think I did. So I think we had finished, and Will had done a little machine embroidery down here that said Happy Valentine's Day. And so that hung in the door for like 3 weeks, and now the door is empty. That's not good. So we're going to fix that. So it's going to take a couple weeks to fix that, but that's okay. We have time because we're still in the middle of that Easter season. And so we've switched over to Bunny Knoll. The one we're going to be making is this little cute chick one right here. And we're going to put that on and I don't know that I think, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it has been that kind of month, man. So I don't know that I want to put like Happy Easter on it. I think I want to try and maybe put Happy Spring on it so that we can keep it up for a few more weeks, then not feel guilty about keeping it up after Easter or feel pressured to have something new. So I think we might just do Happy Spring on it. So I have decided to use I'm telling you, I need some cheer in my life, like right now. So we are using some gorgeous blue here as the background. And then I'm knocking it all over just in the back there. He's just laughing at me. It's like, whatever. So I probably lost half the pieces. And the reason why I love applique so much is because I can create pictures And, there's only so much you can do with piecing. So I really.
So now it's going to be a modern art chick, right?
Okay, a modern art chick. Ha ha ha. And that just clues me in. If you're not watching Facebook and Instagram for us, I got so many pictures of the beautiful quilts at both the Modern Quilt Show, QuiltCon, and the Hampton Inn Show, the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival, that I've been creating like at least 2 times a week, some sort of montage or a movie or something that you guys can see the detail and the artistry in these beautiful quilts. And so if you are not clued in, go back to our Facebook stuff and check out how gorgeous these are. Anyway, okay.
If they're around here, they're going to have a chance to see more. We're early yet, but Greenville.
Yeah, so we're going to the Greenville show. We're being vendors at the Greenville show because we just can't get enough. Um, um, it's hard work, but it's wonderful to be out there and seeing everyone and getting to know new people and seeing what everybody likes. The other thing we've just signed up for is the Bigfoot show up here. And so if you're into Bigfoot, it's a blast. And so we're doing we're vendoring at the Bigfoot show as well. And so Willard is like in his element downstairs right now, designing a quilt for it. And he just, this morning found all sorts of fabric we're going to order. And well, I think he already did it. I mean, he is like all of a sudden just lit up with ideas. And so that's wonderful to see after him being so sick he wasn't that bad, but being sick and not wanting to do anything. And now all of a sudden he's like gone crazy. So let me tell you how, if you are new to applique or are scared of applique, I get it. Like lots of people think it's a lot of work and it is. I mean, I won't lie to you, but what isn't? I mean, if it's worth doing, do it well. So, I love it. So I do it. And it doesn't bother, those steps don't bother me. But I also have to give you the background that I've been making quilts since I was 20 years old. And I've got like 4 quilts that go on our bed. And it's hard for me to give away my quilt, just like it is anybody. It's hard for you to give or sell any of your stuff. But I've even sold like a half a dozen. I've given at least a dozen away for charity or raffles and stuff like that. And it's like, how many more quilts can you have? And so at this point in my life, I'm sort of like wanting to try new stuff. I want to be able to do some of that stuff I see at quilt shows. And so that is my passion right now. That is my bringing this to you so that you can see how it's not that hard. Everybody can do it. So what I do for applique is I use heat and bond right now, although there's a new product. Not a new. Mystic Fuse is also an applique sheet type of thing. And I want to try that because it's got a thinner feel to it. Anyway, I'm going to try that, but I wasn't ready to do that today. So what I do is I draw on the paper side of my heat and bond, and I have some right here that I can show you. See, this is my Wanderlane box with all my Wanderlane fabrics and all my Wanderlane stuff. And so I have, at least I think I do, there it is. I use heat and bond. Heat and bond comes with a side that is fusible. So it's the gluey side. And then the paper side is where I trace my piece. And so in your packet for your bunny Knoll, you have 2 different sections. You have a section that has the templates that you're going to trace. And then you have over here, I'm using this placement guide. So now I know exactly where to put all my pieces. And so I have that over here to the side. And I believe we have one left in the shop if you guys are interested in bunny Knoll. And we're getting ready to place an order. So we'll have a few more in the shop. I mean, it's just the perfect time for bunny Knoll. So it's time. So I use heat and bond. Steam-A-Seam is good as well. I don't use Steam-A-Seam because Steam-A-Seam has gummed up my needle in the past. And that causes my thread to break. Or I have to change needles frequently, and that defeats my purpose. I have never had that problem with heat and bond, but I've heard that Misty Fuse is even better. And so I'm sitting here going, ooh, might need to try that. I'm also getting ready to try Wonderfill thread. And so I might have that actually for next week that I can demonstrate on my doing some of my applique for next week, because I know we're going to put this on, but I don't know if I'm going to get too much applique done. Okay. So I have cut out, sorry, let's start at the beginning. I drew my pieces and then I rough cut those out. Okay. Then I take my fabric and on the wrong side, of course, I use a piece that has wrong sides on both sides or right sides on both sides. So it doesn't matter for this piece. But if you were to have a piece such as this one that has, your obvious right side and wrong side, you want to make sure that you're putting this to the wrong side of the fabric. Believe me, you're going to mess it up, and it's going to be more than once. In fact, after you've been doing this for 20 years, you're still going to mess it up, and you're going to go, and have to trace it all again and do it again. And, you start worrying when you've done it twice wrong. Then you start saying, okay, maybe today I'm just going to drink my tea and watch a movie. So what I do is I take my piece here and I place it to the wrong side of my fabric. And this is my trace side up. The other thing you want to watch out for that my mother did was she used a friction pen to trace all her things out. Okay, we all know friction pens disappear with heat, okay? And then she went to iron her piece onto her fabric. And you know what happened? Yeah, all those things disappeared. So she had to start all over again. So I like to make sure that my piece is cool, because anytime that I'm going to go cut, it could shift if it's warm. So I'm letting that cool so that it's nice and pretty, or nice and easy to cut. And then I can use my regular scissors. I've never had a problem with dulling my regular scissors when I'm cutting my fabric. And so now I will put it over here in front of the camera so you can see. And now I just cut on my line. And by rough cutting that out, I get a nice clean edge to my piece. And this is pitiful because it's kind of tiny. So I'm just going to come in a little bit and trim it some more. And so there we go. Okay, cool. So this little piece has two little chicks, and I have chickens at home. I don't have chicks, but I have chickens at home who are currently performing very badly. I'm getting 1 egg a day out of 12 chicks. Okay, come on now, ladies. And you're only 2 years old. So I should be getting about 10 eggs a day right now, and I'm getting 1 egg a day. So I spoke with my friend Dawn. She and I have figured it out. It's probably their food. So we're going to change their food and just see if that helps. I want to, before I do anything, I want to sort of space out where I want this stuff. And so I was being lazy. I brought up my wall hanging, or not my wall hanging, my door hanging from last month or from February. And I thought, well, okay, this gives me the idea of what I want. And so now I can take that friction pen that I was just complaining about. There you are. And I can sort of rough out, where this design is sort of going to end up. Okay. And so I just want to rough out. I don't necessarily need specifics. I just want to rough out where it's going to be. And that way I can leave a nice seam allowance around here, and I can just play and be fine. Okay. And then I'll cut the soft layer once I get everything glued down. Now is when the placement guide comes in. So I take my placement guide and I can stick this right next to it. And I am going to start, they say, they have the eggs all numbered. Oops. I didn't put any numbers on my eggs. And at this point in time, I've taken all my numbers off. So we're just going to play and have some fun, and it'll be fine. As it is in my robotics group, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. My boys are always telling me it'll be fine, Miss Allyson, it'll be fine. So it'll be fine. And let's see here. I'm going to turn this way. It's upside down right now. I don't do upside down. All right, so, and I think I'm gonna need to turn you guys upside down too, I'm sorry. You know what, I'll do it this way. There we go, Laney, is it right side up? Ha, look at that, I'm figuring it all out, I can do this. Even though it's been a rough month, it's all good. I mean, we've had illness going through the community. We've had illness. I mean, my kids in our robotics group, my piano students, all have been. It's just been a rough month. And so I hope that we're coming out of this now. And as it gets warmer, everyone's going to start getting healthier. Healthier, more energized, you know, the gambit. Okay, this guy goes up here. This guy goes down here. Guy, they're girls. They're going to be hens. And let's see, we'll put you down here. We might change, you know, because I've got all the different colored eggs, depending on what color I want. Like, I think since I have 3 orange or gold colored eggs, I kind of want them sort of different. And so it looks like we have one down here, and then we have a leaf. So we'll bring a leaf down here. And let's see, let's figure out where our ground is. Let's see, because we're going to have an egg down here on the ground, and then the chick will have some legs. Okay, let's see, that's okay. And then let's put this orange one here. And I can, you know, I have a little bit more space than what calls for in this diagram anyway, because I'm doing something totally different, right? So I can spread things out a little bit more if I want to. And I don't have to stick with exactly what's written on my thing, but the guide definitely gives me an idea of where this wanted to go. Where is the, oh, there's the 4th egg. He's just hanging. Look at this egg is just hanging. Look at that. You know what though? I think I want to switch this one because that's too yellow. Okay, so we're going to switch you to there. And you, oh, yellow. Okay, we're going to switch you to there. Lainey's just laughing at me today. Let's see, we'll put you on top there. In fact, we'll make you even higher like that. And then let's see here. See, this is why applique is so much fun. Like, you can do whatever you want. And then this one's like supposed to hang out like that. Yeah, that's not going to happen. We're going to go this way, I think. Yeah, turn you a little bit more that way. Okay, let me see how this looks. All right, let me see. Let me see. All right, and then you go here. Like, okay, wait a minute. It's just hanging, right? It's just hanging out there. Okay, hey.
It wasn't about the hang. It looks, well, and maybe it's just on the camera. It looks like it has a flat spot on it, like it was.
Here?
No, the gold one beneath it.
This one?
No, to the right. Well, my right.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not an egg. That's a chick.
Ah, okay. That makes sense then. Never mind.
I just haven't put the wings on yet. So it's a chick. Oh, okay. And this guy's just gonna sit up here. Girl. This gal's gonna just sit up here. Okay. And then, ooh, we have a butterfly. Now the butterfly's supposed to like go over here, but there's all this space over here. So I think I'm gonna put the butterfly over here. And let's see, it needs to switch to go like that and like that. Now there will be a whole bunch of greenery around here as well, and I can do whatever I want to with that as well. So like there's supposed to be some grass, and then and see how I'm sort of like off over here, but I think everything is going to be fine. I don't really need to shift it. The lines, remember, are erasable, and I can do whatever I want to later. If it looks funny, I will just square it differently. Okay, so let me see. I got a couple leaves up here.
And are you planning on having embroidery on this one also? Do you need to leave
I am
space
gonna
for that?
hand embroider. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna put that up here. Very good question. So I will have Willard do some, and I'm gonna do some hand embroidery because I'm practicing my stitches for our sip and stitch that we had to postpone yet again, unfortunately, because my mom was not feeling very well, and I am not prepared. She was supposed to do this. I am not prepared to teach that on my own yet. It'll happen one of these days. Okay. And then I have a wing here. Yeah, I'll be ready, but she's got to I'm not ready yet. And I'm missing a wing. Uh-oh. All right, wing. Where'd you go? See, this is how I always am. Man.
I can't tell if it's on the floor.
I know. Like, we need to vacuum in here. Our good vacuum is downstairs in the shop. And upstairs, the vacuum is, the kids, though, have promised to vacuum for me. So my robotics kids, because the whole robotics room, everything is just a mess. Okay, and then I have the piece, I'll show you right there, that I just did. This is for the butterfly. And so the butterfly's little, you got it. I'm going to move it down just a little bit so you can see the butterfly. And then the butterfly is sort of going in. You know what? Wouldn't it be neat if the butterfly is facing toward the chicken or the chick? So let's turn him this way. I almost want him to go like that way, almost like they're, and I think I'm going to put my beak up like that so that they can like be coming in for a kiss. Wouldn't that be cute? Well, okay, maybe. Ah, the butterfly is teasing the chick. That's good. That's good. So I think that's cute. Okay, cool. So now that I have everything placed nice and neat, I am going to use the, oh, though, wait a minute, maybe I don't like the butterfly like that. Okay, I'm not quite sure about the butterfly yet. I like everything else. If I'm gonna do that, then I kind of want to move you up like that. There we go. That way, when I've got my beak there and my little tentacles, okay, they're not tentacles, they're antennas. They're little antennae. Will come out like that. Oh, you know what? I should have it saying something too. Oh, okay. See how inspired I'm getting just by sitting down, having a nice cup of tea and forcing myself to just sit here and do colorful. And I'm like, now I'm just want to stay up here all day long. I know that can't happen, but I have all of a sudden just rejuvenated my spirit. And that is what I needed. That's why I work with bright colors. It just makes my day. Okay. When you are done placing all the pieces, whatever applique that you are doing, whenever you are done placing those applique pieces, I did take my paper off, yes. And I've taken all my paper off. It never fails that I will forget to take a piece of paper off and I'll wonder why my piece isn't sticking to the thing. It happens. All right, and so now what you're gonna do is you're going to press. So you're gonna press, you do not wanna iron because remember with that heat, it is gonna shift. So you wanna make sure you're just pressing down. And I just press for a second. And the other thing I'm noticing is that some of my pieces are sort of curled. And so if I catch it while it's hot, I can change it. And so, oh my God, cute. Okay, this is what I needed to do today. Totally what I needed to do today. And so once I know, so let's say this one is just not, it's not in the right place. And so now that it's flattened out, I can move it better into position to it wasn't really bad. But you get that I could move it into a different position before I really go to apply some heat. And so sometimes they just, the wind from the door outside just comes in and takes over. And I can get rid of that line now. So that little friction line, it's all I needed was I just needed to know sort of where those things needed to be placed. I am going to go ahead and heat this a little bit just to make sure my little pieces stay in place because like I said, I don't think I'm going to have time today to get all of it done. But I will show you what I'm getting ready to do. And then I think what we'll do is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my sulky thread. And then we're going to compare next week when I have my new threads. So, and we'll see which one we like better. That's just, this is what this is all about. This is getting the opportunity to check. It's a small project. I'm going to turn that off because I'm done. I can then figure out if I like something or if I don't like something. And if I don't like it, then I can not use it again. So now what I'm going to do is just let this cool because, like I said, you do want, it's going to shift if it's hot. That glue is just going to kind of go all over the place. And I'm going to set up my sewing machine. And so the thread that I usually use is a Aurifil 50 weight, or I use the sulky. So I have the Aurifil in my bobbin, which I've never had a problem with. And I have the sulky up here on top, which is a monofilament clear thread. Okay. The thread that I'm getting from Wonderfill is an 80 weight. That's a very, very thin thread. But that's what is currently being suggested for applique. And I thought, I'm up for trying something new. I'm always up for trying something new. And so I am going, I think I need to clean my machine. A little dusty down there. And so I'm always up for trying something new. So next week, after we will check out and see if we like the Aurifil, the Wonderfil better than we like the sulky. I also use some Aurifil, and this one is also the same thing. It's like a nylon. It's almost like feels like a fishing wire type of thread. And so I'm really curious to find out what this new thread is like. Kind of nervous about it too, because I'm sort of going all in on it. But I really love what I'm reading and seeing about it. So, okay. I am simply going to do with my sulky an egg or two, just so that you can sort of see what I'm doing, especially if you're new to applique. Okay, move this over here so you can see. I know this camera is not the best and sometimes gets a little fuzzy, but that's okay. I like to use a blanket stitch. So the blanket stitch goes forward, backward, forward, over, over. Wonder what that is. Oh, it's from the tinsel from the last time. So forward, backward, forward, over, over. Okay. And then it's going to go forward, backward, forward, over, over. So that is my stitch of choice. Okay. And so I need to get to, I've got to find it. Okay. On this machine, it's different. I've been using my other machine. So 39. And, oh, wait. No. Okay. Wait a minute. Sorry. I'm going to figure this out. There we go. Every machine is slightly different. Okay, so I have my, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, and then I like to make my over kind of narrow, so I am knocking that down, okay, as far as I can go. I am not knocking down my stitch length. I'm gonna just keep that because otherwise I start getting really, really slow in the process. If you are having if you feel like applique takes you too long, that's probably what's going on, is that you're doing, it's just taking you a long time to get. Your stitch length is so tiny that it's taking you forever to get around. I have my glasses. I need these. And I like lots of light. So doing applique when I have all these lights here is just awesome. All right, so I am going to start by working on my little wing. I like to do the smaller things first because the smaller things, then I get them out of the way while I'm nice and fresh and at the machine. And then the bigger things, I can just sort of let the machine just run and guide it. I don't on any stitch ever try and push or prod my stuff through. Every now and at the very beginning, you have to sort of give it a little nudge. Otherwise, let your feed dogs do the work. If the feed dogs are not feeding your fabric through, then check your feed dogs. It might be time to clean the machine. Might have some lint in there. You might have a little bit too much pressure on the presser foot, which is causing it to not be able to push through. Most part, your machine should be able to just use those feed dogs to push that fabric through, and you should just be able to sit back and guide. There is no reason for me to inflame my arthritis that is already starting to happen in my hands with sewing. And so you want to just guide that fabric. I'm making sure that my thread is underneath. And then the first thing I do is put on my tacking stitch, and that will tack it 3 times in place. If you don't have a tacking stitch, just stitch 3 times in place, or use your hand wheel for 3 times in place. I have it on my slowest speed. If you don't have it on your slowest speed, or you don't have a speed thing, then just don't press your foot pedal down too hard. And then it goes, okay? And so I'm gonna move my fingers out of the way so you can sort of see. Let me see if I can go super slow. I will go forward, backward, forward, over, and then back over, okay? And so I can use my hand wheel to do that. I can use my up down needle button to do that. So when I get to tight like little corners, you're gonna see in just a second. And then you can see I'm just moving my piece just like that. Now I have gotten to the edge of the wing. I am gonna go ahead and lift up my presser foot. And I am strategically looking for where my needle positioning is. I don't want to turn if my needle is over in the over position, because that will throw everything off, believe me. And when I get to these spots right here where I'm sort of going around this wing and it's kind of tight, then I take my time and I can use my hand wheel, okay? And that way I can always make sure that I am turning on that spot that the needle is down. Okay, I'm coming into there and I'm gonna come back out here. I'm gonna do one more in here. And then I'm just lifting up my presser foot and pivoting. Some machines are awesome and have like this little knee lever and you don't even need to lift your presser foot up because your knee can do it. They're expensive, but they're awesome. I don't have that on this one. So while I'm going around and showing you how I'm just easing, see, now I'm getting a little bit to the point where I just need to pivot just a little bit. But for the most part, I can just guide with my hand. And so as I do this, I'm going to tell you what we're getting ready to do on Saturday. And that is we're going to Pioneer Days close to home down Shoal Creek Road. And we will be demonstrating sewing with kids. So I invited 3 kids to come and help me out. That 3 kids has blossomed to 6. So, you know, from 11 to 3, come on out to the Pioneer, what is it? The Pioneer Strawbridge Pioneer Life Center, and it is Pioneer Days, and it is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of vendors showing all sorts of different crafts and all sorts of different stuff. So it is worth it, and I will try. The Wi-Fi is supposed to be pretty bad, but I'll try and do some videos of the kids doing their thing. I don't have anything super planned. Like I was going to do little purses with them. But they kind of take it on their own and say, okay, if you just bring me scraps, I can go from there. And so I think that's how it's going to end up, is that they're just going to do their own thing. And the thing that surprised me the most was that last year, I just hit the tacking stitch so that I would not have to hide any threads. All I am going to do now is lift up my needle and move to my next place. I'm already got the tacking stitch down, and it didn't tack for me in place. So I'm going to do it now. It'll be all right. There it goes. And then, so one of my boys from my robotics program just happened to overhear that the girls were going to be sewing, and he was like, I'll do it. And I said, wait a minute, you were the child last year who would not come near the sewing machine when we were making little moon bags. He wouldn't come near that sewing machine. Well, this year, apparently he's making pillows and he's making this and he's taking a sewer class, and once, I was like, okay, you're on. So that's where all of a sudden my 3 kids has turned into 6. And I think it's hilarious. And I'm so excited that they love to do this stuff with me. So, and I really, really hope that we get some kids out there that will, that will get interested in it. So, I mean, I just think that this, well, you can tell how much I have brightened since we started this project. Like, I literally was like, as I was walking up the stairs, just because it's been that kind of fun. And I'm already like, oh, I should have just done this at 9 o'clock this morning. I'd be in such a mood. Okay. Anyway, so that's what's happening on Saturday. So if you happen to be in the area, come check us out. And you can see that it does take a little while, and it's taking me longer because I'm talking too much. But I hope that this gives you the opportunity to see that I'm not really working all that hard. This is where I like literally put a audiobook on or a video, and I just sit here and let my sewing machine do its thing and enjoy the beautiful colors. So I am going to stop as soon as this chick is done and let y'all go have lunch. I think Lanny's starving back there. Has anyone joined us today, Lanny? No comments. I know that Linda and Sarah and Sue Ellen and Marilyn will all come on later, and then they'll tell me later. So I appreciate you guys coming on and watching. If you enjoy doing all things crafty, next week we will do some hand stitching on this guy and finish up all the other embellishments. Hey, if we're going to do it, might as well go all the way, right? So we'll do some embellishment. It is Easter egg, so we could out, with embellishments. So, and then I'll also teach you some simple hand stitches for doing hand embroidery. And okay, stop talking, get the chick done. And if you enjoy this stuff, please sign up for our emailing list. That is found at www.info.quiltandcode.com. I can't sew and talk at the same time, y'all. And if you enjoy these series, join us on Mondays for our hanky series, which really I promise will happen this week. It just didn't happen this week. Every now and then, I just can't do it all. I can't do it all. And there we go. She's done. Okay, just one chick is done. That's okay. I got more than I thought I would get done today, so that's good. And make sure that you, if you would like to order the bunny Knoll, Lanny has probably put a link in the chat for that. If you would like to sign up for our email newsletter so that you know what's coming local and online, because we're also doing other series online. For example, make sure you check out our three-yard quilt series. That one has got another one that's getting ready to go up, and two others that are in the works planning wise. And you'll get to know where we are. So we're trying to get out there, to see all of you guys. Like, we'll be in Greenville in a few weeks, and we're trying to get into the Pigeon Forge show so that we can get over to Gatlinburg. And so hopefully you guys can come by and see us. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, comment, all that other social media stuff, and we will see you on Monday. Thanks, everyone.